Howdy folks, welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I do non-pop country music reactions. Those of you who've been around for the entire time I've had the channel, which is 8 years, know that part of it, and that's why you're still here, and thank you for that. But if you're new, welcome. We're a friendly group here, pretty knowledgeable group. Folks on the channel are extraordinarily knowledgeable, so the other posters, and they're very kind, so you'll fit right in if that's your thing. I got a gift request from Kyle Perkins. So KP, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for this gift and request. And it's of Hank Williams Jr.'s Attitude Adjustment. And I probably have heard it somewhere. I'm calling it a reaction because I don't recognize it by that title. Because I didn't grow up on country, so I've reacted to about 5,000 songs, probably 4,800 of which I'd never heard before. Or so, and the process continues. So let's see what Hank's got for us. Hank's just so freaking cool. There it is. Now, who needs the attitude adjustment? I'm guessing it's him.
Now, I met an old friend in a bar the other night, and he got a little drunk and he wanted to fight, and he jumped up and challenged every man in the room.
Oh, this sounds
And
familiar.
just about the time they got the words out, an old boy jumped up and closed his mouth and used his head for a mop and his butt for a broom. It was an attitude adjustment. I guess it was his first time. An attitude adjustment. Now he understands just fine. He got bent out of shape, then he opened his mouth and just one appointment straightened him right out. It was an attitude adjustment. Oh, it'll work every time. Now I've got this big old brother-in-law, and me and him just never did get along, cause he wants to be sure I'm treating his sister right.
Right.
He got drunk one night, started beating me up, and I went and got a tire tool out of the truck and laid him out as cold as a block of ice. It was an attitude adjustment, and it'll work every time.
You know, make Thanksgiving so pleasant.
I made him see the light. Now he says I'm his kind of man, and he comes around me with his hat in his hand. It was an attitude adjustment. I carried all his family pride. Now my girlfriend slapped me in the face, and I said, darling, that was your first mistake. And then she went wild and her eyes turned red.
Uh-oh.
She started breaking everything and screaming loud and kicking me and cussing me out, and I gave her a little adjustment on the top of the head. It was an attitude adjustment. Oh, she loves on me all the time. Just an attitude adjustment. She's got a whole new frame of mind. She don't nag, I don't beg. We get along, and like I said, just an attitude adjustment.
She don't nag, I don't beg. He doesn't have to beg for sex, plain and simple. But she doesn't nag. We all got. All right, let's hear the rest of it.
Oh, everything's just fine. Well, almost. She called the cops to take me in, and I said, you're never gonna do it, friend. And they just smiled and said, oh, yes, we will. Now a stick to the head and some kicks to the shins and several bites by Rin Tin Tin, and I couldn't wait to get into that jail. It was an attitude adjustment. Oh, I went along peacefully. Attitude adjustment.
Was it Rin?
They made
Rin,
me clearly see. Cause my
shepherd?
head is black and my legs are blue and both kneecaps are bit clean through. It was an attitude adjustment. It made my whole outlook brand new. Just an attitude adjustment. It makes your whole outlook brand new. Yes, I understand just fine. Perfectly.
I'm reliving a few attitude adjustments that I got. I've had to give some back in the day on behalf of my sister, my younger sister, couple folks. And she was probably the one in the wrong, but that's not what matters when you're back in high school or, you know, in your early 20s and stuff. Somebody disrespects your, you know, my younger sister. She called me. She was upset. And I'm like, I'll go square it up. But other times I was running my mouth, and it happened to all of us. I don't care who you are. There's always somebody bigger or badder than you. And they are not even necessarily got to be bigger than you. It didn't happen a lot to me because I got along pretty well with everybody. But like you said in the song, this dude had gotten drunk. That's what it was. Jumped up, he took exception to something, called everybody out in the bar. One dude, real quick. I thought he was going to say when he said, my friend, he got bent out of shape, and then basically he got put in line. But I would have liked the line that he got bent into shape, then he got bent back into it, or something like that. Um, but it was just a fun, very Hank Williamsy song. I mean, Merle could have done this one too. Johnny could have done it, but really, Hank specializes in this. He probably played every instrument on this one too. Piano, drums, guitar, all that. But just a fun carnival type feel to this song, Kyle. And I know we've all, if you're living right, you would have received an attitude adjustment at some point in life, because you got to push the envelope in life, and we do. And then even in our relationships, we find out what our partner, our wife, girlfriend, the whatever's limits are, what their limits are. They'll let us know, but they'll find out what your limits are, because they can get to pushing too hard on things and just overdoing things. And then even if the most docile person is going to blow up once in a while, and they're like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. And then you know what the limits are. And in many ways, it's just like a dog. Dogs do better when they have discipline, when they have rules, when they know what their limits are, because they stay within them and they're fine. And we human beings, we guys operate better in that domain than women. Women don't like being told that their stories are going on too long. They're talking too much. Can you dial it back? Can you not be so upset when you're talking? Whatever. They don't like that. We guys, we're like, all right, I'll freaking try to dial it back a little bit. I get a little amped up, whatever it is. We guys kind of like rules better. And that's where, like, that's the saying that, like, men are like dogs, women are like cats. And it's like, yeah, not dogs in the nasty sense, but we do better with our rules, give us our area to play in, and we know what it is. But women, like cats, are always on guard for what's in their territory that's not right. And guys are kind of like, can you throw the ball and we can play? And that's kind of our mentality. But we'd like to know what the rules are. Just tell us what the rules are, and we'll try not to go outside them, generally speaking. But if you're not getting in trouble once in a while, if you haven't been in a fight, you probably haven't lived. Not that you should be looking to fight, because those are bad people. I don't like those people. But I mean, every so often, somebody's got to give you a tune-up. Sometimes it's your own friend. But Kyle, I don't know if you've got stories in your life. Maybe you do. I'm going to guess you do. It's almost impossible to get through this life, whether it's a boss at work, a colleague at work, somebody on the highway I don't know, whatever. And somewhere along the line, we all deserve to be set in, be put in place. And sometimes it's the police. And especially when you're younger, maybe you're driving like a maniac too often or whatever. But all right, I'm going to rate this. It was a fun, simple song. Here's a few vignettes thrown out there, and then got put in your place. So the number I've got on this one was an 8.2. And strangely, it was on the fun factor of the piano. I just had this carnival feel, and you got to have a piano if you're going to have that. And Hank brought this in, and I'm guessing he was the one playing it. So there you go, guys. Hank Jr.'s attitude adjustment. It brings back some painful memories, but still, you get older, like, you can laugh about it. It's like, yeah, all been there, rite of passage. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.